generation is rising. A 10-part video series on an emerging generation of kings.
A machine is an apparatus that consists of different interrelated parts, specifically designed to carry out a certain function for the performance of a certain task. In all of human history, man has had to rely on the power of machines, from simple tools like shaving sticks and pairs of scissors to more complicated contraptions like mammograms and defibrillators. Man has tried to save time, energy, money, and even his life with the power of machines. Of course, this makes sense considering the fact that for every assignment there has to be an equipment, for every mission there has to be a machine, and for every task there has to be a tool. So over the last couple of videos, we've talked about the importance of raising another generation, of kingdom influences in nations, generations, and systems. We've talked about the importance of stirring up the hearts of men and realigning them to God. You might be wondering, how do you intend to do this? What machine do you believe is going to be strong enough to bring about total transformation and radical reformation in the hearts and the minds of people from different walks of life, cultures, backgrounds, and ethnicities? Well, that's a question that has been asked for many centuries now. And over those centuries, man has tried to come up with machines to correct the cracks in his character and his consciousness. He has tried to use at least 5 major types of machines that I want to run through right now. The first kind of machine that man has tried to use is what I call a political machine. So we set up political parties and galvanize movements with market women and students and political influences. We set up all kinds of structures, and we name some of them oligarchy and some of them democracy. We name some of them capitalism and just different forms of administration. The second kind of machine we've tried to use is what I call social machines. We set up ourselves in clubs and committees and communities and women's associations and the black movement or the white movement or the orange movement. The third kind of machine I will call or talk about is religious machines. In our desperate attempt to reach God and to become more like Him, we engage ourselves in rituals and routines that ever so often fall flat. The fourth kind of machines are what I will call non-governmental organizations or charity efforts. And the fifth type is what I call personal machines or humanism, which is man's attempt to sort himself out by himself. But here's a question for you. Of all these machines, which one of them has actually been effective, sustainably so? Of course, we do understand that in politics and human governments, you might have legislations, rules and regulations to curb things like sexual violation and rape. But is there any government in this world that has the template of delivering the hearts of men and women from the grip of lust? When we talk about social machines, yes, you might be able to get some business contacts here and there and a few contracts, but is there any business association that has the power and the latitude to guarantee you not just success in this world, but also in the world to come? You might talk about non-governmental organizations and charity efforts, but yes, I can put clothes on your backs, but can I put security on your soul? I might be able to feed your body with free food, but can I feed your spirit with the revelation of the life and the power of God? How about religion and all the do's and don'ts and the codes of conduct and the ethics and the judgmental dispositions of people who should know better? Has this been able to bring about morality and balance and equilibrium in our world? And you might agree with me that the answer really is no. As a matter of fact, much of the crisis we face in the world today is directly or indirectly connected to some kind of religious disagreement or tension or the other. Of course, humanism, the idea that you can do it all by yourself, that you have what it takes to be able to sort out your own issues. Now, all of these machines are failed in some form or fashion over time. How then can we register success? And what is the machine that we're using at Kings to raise another generation? Well, if a body is going to be effective, if a machine is going to be effective, it has to be a machine that is driven by love, a body that is driven by love. The most sophisticated machine in the world is the human body. The complexity of the neurological pathways, the heart, the rhythm of the beat of the heart, the circulatory system, all of those ingredients make it such a compelling machine. But it goes even beyond the physical body. When we think about the body of Jesus Christ when he walked the face of the earth, healing the sick, feeding the hungry, opening blind eyes, causing deaf ears to pop open, he was able to stir up a revolution without a political machine, a social machine, a religious machine, or even humanism. He brought the government of heaven down to earth. And at King's, one of the things we're doing is raising mobile machines, human expressions of divine government, who are charged with life and power to be able to bring about revolution, not violently, but peaceably. We're doing this by establishing a multifaceted ministry that comprises of a local church, comprised of international outreaches and charity organizations. The local church will be a gathering of believers, a body of believers who are operating not in judgment or compulsion, but by love. Being able to stir up the fire of God in our hearts and create an atmosphere for worship and discipleship and responsibility and giving and exhortation and edification. International outreaches, because ever so often when many ministries start, it's all about people coming in and coming in and coming in. But we're told about Jesus that he went about. So we want to be a ministry that goes out, that engages communities, that stirs up the minds of people by shining the light of God's word in tangible and practical ways. And also charity organizations, because for many ministries today, charity is just one of the things they do, or a byproduct that they use to scratch the religious itch. But we want to be that group of people who are sold out to reach the needs, the material needs of people in our environment, and to bring about radical revolution in a way that goes way beyond the four walls or the restriction of our spiritual gatherings. And I believe that this is a fantastic opportunity for you to plug into this ministry machine, for you to engage your life force with the mandate of God in this season, to be a part of this thriving movement. Now remember that every Sunday we meet between the hours of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. at a private lounge. If you'd like to be a part of that, just send your full name and email address to the phone number on the screen right now, and we'll also add you to our WhatsApp and online community and keep you posted on what's going on. But more importantly, on the last Sunday of this month, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., we're going to be having a special gathering of kings where we're able to stir up our hearts and bring about radical change in the world. Whatever you do, stand in faith, grow in faith, and keep showing your faith. And remember that a generation is rising.
A generation is rising. A 10-part video series on an emerging generation of kings. To join this growing community of kings, visit www.kingdomcentral.org and send your full name and email address to 0908-123-4566. One more thing, kindly share this video. Someone you know needs to watch this.